So this video is going to focus on more practice in interpreting graphs and interpreting slope, as well as more word problems. So this graph relates temperature Y in degrees Fahrenheit to temperatures X in degrees Celsius. So first what I want to do is to label the X and Y axis. So this is the Fahrenheit here, and that's the y-axis, and then Celsius is our x-axis, and actually it is labeled here, right? You see that here. So this is Celsius, and that's our x value, so that is the x here. So we're going to use a graph to write an equation of the line. So the y-intercept we can find right away, so that's cool. So that part is done. So now we need to find slope. So let's use a slope formula. M equals, I'll call this x2, y2, x1, y1. So this is 86 minus y1, which is 32, and then x2, 30 minus 0. So we find that this is going to be 54 over 30. And then that reduces to, so 6 goes into 54 and 6 goes into 30. That reduces to 9 over 5. So that's our slope. And then we have our y-intercept, so let's write our equation. Y equals 9/5 x plus the y-intercept of 32, right? The y-intercept is here at 32. Now interpret the slope. So what does 9/5 mean? So again, this is relating Fahrenheit to Celsius. So what we're going to say is that the temperature, the Fahrenheit temperature increases temperature, because it's going up, right, and it's positive, increases 9/5 degrees for every degree in Celsius. So again, I'm using the words here. So the Fahrenheit temperature increases 9/5 degrees, right? That's our slope for every 1 degree Celsius. That's really what this is telling us. So try this next example on your own. The graph shows the height in feet of a flag X seconds after you start raising up a flagpole. So as a hint, I would go ahead and label these. What is the y value? What is the x value? Then you're going to have to find slope, and then see if you can interpret the slope as well. So if we're trying to find slope, we can use slope formula, or you can use rise over run. I'm going to use the slope formula. So 6 minus 3 over 2 minus 0. We find this is 3 over 2. So that's slope. Our y-intercept is given to us right here. So b is 3. The y-intercept is 3. So our equation is y equals 3 halves x plus 3. Now interpret the slope. So what does this mean? 3 halves. So that means that the flag height increases by 3 halves feet, or 1.5 feet, every second up the flagpole. Now to talk about this for a second, what can you say, what does the y-intercept represent here? So what does it mean here at 3? So if you said this was the flag height in feet is our y, and then this is our seconds in x. So at 0 seconds, what does this y-intercept mean? So what this means is that at the start, so the flag is already up the flagpole at 3 feet. So it's the starting point of the flag. Which is 3 feet. Okay. So now let's try some other word problems here. So we have Angel has $24 in the bank. He saves $4 each week. Write an equation that gives the total amount y of money Angel saves each week, and then how much money will Angel have saved in total after 12 weeks. So this is more just a practice of writing equations. So Angel already has $24 in the bank, and then he saves $4 each week. So what is changing each time? So we really want to find our slope, right? Now each week, that kind of tells me that that is changing each week, that is increasing. So this is going to be our slope here. Angel has $24 in the bank, so it tells me that that is where the money starts, right? He already has $24. So thinking about that in terms of if you had a graph, he already has $24, and then each week he's going to increase that by $4, right? So that's our slope there. So let's write an equation. So total amount y of the money Angel saves each week. So total amount y equals our slope saves each week. So anything if you see per each week, that'll be a good clue. 4x plus the y-intercept of 24. So that is the equation. Now, how much money will Angel have saved in total after 12 weeks? So figure out 12 weeks represents what in our equation. So each week, that is going to be our time, right? So that is x. Week is time. So this is x. And we could plug it in and solve. So y equals 4 times 12 plus 24. So therefore, this is y equals 48 plus 24, or Angel would have saved $72. So Angel will have saved $72 total after 12 weeks. So here are a couple more examples for you that I want you to try out. A truck has 12 gallons of gas at the beginning of a trip. Each hour, the gas in the tank decreases by 2 gallons. So you're going to write an equation and then find out this question, how many hours are there when 6 gallons is left? And then this problem here where Patrick borrows money from his mom to buy a PlayStation. All right, so hopefully you tried this out. So for these both, they are actually decreasing, right? Slopes are decreasing. Now, the reason why I say that is because the truck has 12 gallons of gas at the beginning of a trip. Each hour, the gas in the tank decreases by 2 gallons. And that makes sense. As you use gas as you're driving. So therefore, it's going to be negative 2 gallons per hour. And then it starts at 12. So that's the equation here. And then how many hours are there if 6 gallons are left? So, well, number one, we can say that the truck has traveled 3 hours. We can also say, number one, that there are 3 hours left. And that's because, if there are 6 gallons left, that's really half the tank. So we traveled 3 hours. We have another 3 hours to go. Now, the last one, Patrick borrows $300 from his mom to buy a new PlayStation. He pays $30 each week to pay her back. So again, that's negative 30 because he's paying his mom back $30 per week. And then he starts at borrowing $300. So here's the equation, y equals negative 30x plus 300. So each week, again, so if you see each week per hour or something like that, that probably clues you in that it is probably slope. And then, so the initial amount is $300, right? So that's where he starts. And then how many weeks has Patrick paid if he owes $180? So $180, that has to do with our total amount, right? It doesn't have to do with the weeks, which is the time. So y equals 180, and you plug that into the equation. 180 equals negative 30x plus 300. You'd find the answer is 4. So therefore, Patrick has paid for 4 weeks if he still owes $180.